Hey Facebook, I'm meteorologist Michael White and I'm broadcasting from the house. It is about 7:30 in the evening on Monday night. We have to talk about Hurricane Michael that is sitting out in the Gulf of Mexico. We need to talk about what the latest projections are on this thing, where it's going, how it could impact us, how it's going to impact you. And then after we go through some of these graphics, then I'll come back and we'll kind of summarize exactly what we're going to be seeing within the next 48 hours. And if you miss any of this, you can just rewatch it as much as you want. Feel free to share it with your friends. So let's dive in and start talking about it. Here we go. And if you're new to these videos, this is something we're just going to focus on solely on Michael. We're not going to delve into really any other forecasting models. We're just going to focus on the tropical mischief that's down in the Gulf. Hurricane Michael, a very strong hurricane with maximum sustained winds at 85 miles per hour, tracking north at 12, and that thing is going to become a major hurricane by tomorrow night. And that's highlighted by that M you see on the track. This comes from the Hurricane Center office in Miami. A major hurricane means that it's at least a Category 3, and that is what it's expected to be. A Category 3, a very dangerous setup for parts of the Florida Panhandle. As far as the projected path, that thing is going to work its way toward the north and east. It's moving north right now at 13. Maximum sustained winds are at 140 miles per hour, and it will get to about 145 before this thing makes landfall, and that's going to be this afternoon at 1 o'clock. The models were consistent on that yesterday. They're staying with that today. The Hurricane Center has shrunk their cone even farther, and this is pretty much going to be the path. This thing is going to hit between Panama City and Apalachicola, and Port St. Joe is in the bullseye. Then this thing weakens back to almost a tropical storm by late tonight. But that thing's going to lift its way toward the north and northeast. Panama City to Apalachicola is in the bullseye. And remember, anyone east of the center is going to be on the bad side. That's where storm surge upwards of 9 feet could occur, possibly over 10 feet, in addition to the wind speeds of 145 miles per hour, in addition to the intense amounts of tornado threats and the flooding threat. We're going to be 6 to 10 inches of rain are going to blow through with this thing. It's going to be just an absolute monster.
Still look awful out there, and now all of a sudden it's beginning to clear up. Let's bring meteorologist Michael White back in for a better explanation of what's going on in Destin. Michael?
All right, thanks a lot, guys. And Destin, remember, it is to the west of this center. And we have always preached on the fact that the east side is the bad side, the west side is the good side. And that's where you end up dealing with most of your damage, is if you are along and east of the center is where you're going to end up getting the worst conditions from any tropical system. West of the center is where you're going to end up getting the better conditions. And I'm going to be using Max 2 control room, letting you know that. You'll key me over Max 2, not 1. We are watching Rosemary Beach right now. That is a live look at what's going on from our storm tracker vehicle. You can see obviously horrible conditions there from this system, but it is improving along our section of the Gulf Coast because we have been west of the center, because we get the offshore flow instead of the onshore flow. This is a current look at it on the storm tracker radar. The center made landfall around Mexico Beach, Florida. That's just to the east of Panama City. We have Matt Barentine around Panama City. You saw how bad it was there. He was still west of the center, but he was close enough to that eye wall where the winds were ferocious. But if you're east of the center, not only do you get the winds, but you also get the 9 to 12 foot storm surge. I just saw a video off Instagram from Mexico Beach where the thing made landfall. Almost total devastation in that area, which was unfortunately to be expected. But now in our area, things are going dry. We're getting the north wind flow. Things are improving here. And we were projected to be west of the center the entire time. We'll take a tighter look at this thing and see where the center is now. It's just south of Marianna, Florida. This is US 231. Now, US 231 runs all the way up to my hometown, Dothan, Alabama, Circle City, and then all the way down 231, it will lead you to Panama City Beach. So 231, it's going to basically be hugging that, and it's going to scoot just to the east of Dothan by the time it reaches Category 2 strength later this evening. Dothan is still projected to be on the west side, but it's going to be rather close to the center, and the wind fields are going to be very intense. But this thing's going to be moving up past I-10 by Marianna, Florida, and essentially running parallel with US 231. Here's a bigger look at this thing, and you can see how large the system is, and I got the wind particle streams overlaid. East of the center, there's your tornado watch box. We've had a couple of tornado warnings going off in Florida. We haven't seen many. You got one right now near Jacksonville. And then another one is in South Florida near Sarasota. But you can see from the counterclockwise rotation, if you're east of the center, you get the onshore flow. Hurricane season runs now through November 30th. And every year, the Fox 10 News weather team works hard to make sure that you're prepared for anything that could come our way during hurricane season. This year's hurricane special, it's going to look a little different than what you may be used to. This time we're tracking a fictional storm named Hurricane X. We're setting the scene of what could happen if a major hurricane slammed right into Mobile. We'll be using fictional weather reports and archived video footage to present this worst-case scenario. Now, the goal with this is not to scare anyone. It's to help you be prepared should a major storm head for the Gulf Coast. We'll also share information on how you and your family can get ready for storm season. And now, we begin tracking Hurricane X. It's a calm and quiet Wednesday on the Gulf Coast. Drivers head off to work in a steady stream of cars, while boaters enjoy a more scenic start to the day. But during hurricane season, this sense of normalcy can be fleeting. Here in the Fox 10 News Storm Tracker Center, activity is picking up.
All right. Oh my. Okay.
What a height
there
difference.
There we go. Wow.
You know, for Eric in the morning, we have a box.
Are you? I'm not. Okay. So.
Hold on a second. Hold on.
I'm not.
Hold on. Look at this.
Really?
I got a box right here.
Okay, fine.
Let's try it.
We'll do it.
Go ahead. Give it a whirl.
Because
there we go. This is much better.
Yes. And the weather's much better, too, after the rain to cool things off.
It is, yes. It's going to be hot and dry again tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, we're expecting the sunrise time to be at 5:50. A little patchy fog possible, mid-70s at 8. Full look at that forecast is up next. Good morning, I'm meteorologist Michael White. This is your weather webcast on fox10tv.com for Thursday. Sun and clouds is what we're going to be experiencing today. We will end up with warmer temperatures this afternoon, but it's still going to be chilly this morning. As far as rainfall, that's going to be non-existent from today through tomorrow morning, but periodic clouds will continue to track from the west to the east. We will end up getting shower chances coming back over the weekend as Gulf moisture surges. It won't be all-day rains, but it will be periodic rain. But none for today with a high of 60. Southeast wind at 4 to 8 miles per hour. Overnight tonight, temperatures will bottom out around 40 with a light east wind, and your sky mostly cloudy. Here's how the next 7 days are going to stack up. The rain coverage moves into 30 to 40% territory for the weekend. Highs will be in the mid to upper 60s. We get to the mid to low 70s in the afternoon starting next week. And look at those overnight lows, how mild they are. Only around the 60-degree marker starting on Tuesday morning. Jason will post another weather webcast right here on fox10tv.com later this afternoon. Have a wonderful rest of your Thursday and stay warm.